Well, how y'all are? It's your native Flor-xan, and today we're going to do some imitation crab rolls. So hang in there and let's get into it. All right, starting out, we're just going to take some frozen seasoning blend, which this is just onions, celery, red peppers, green pepper. It's basically the same thing as Trinity. And then I got some flake style imitation crab. We're going to take and cook this up and make us some crab rolls. So let's get cooking on the stove. All right, so I got the pan heating up. I just put a little spray canola oil in there. And we're gonna dump this whole bag down in here. Now, we're not gonna add much to it until after we get this sweated down and cook a lot of this moisture out of it. Because whenever you're dealing with frozen vegetables, you'll get a lot of moisture built up in the pan. So we're gonna cook that down. So you can see all that water building up in here. We just want to cook this down and then cook that water out, then we'll start adding some more flavor to it. All right, so we got our moisture cooked out. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a tablespoon of butter to that. Butter will help brown them. I'm not going, to cook them to a real deep color. I just want to put a little color on them. And then I wouldn't have left Texas without a little of my Chupacabra Cajun blend. We want to throw down a little bit of that in there. And of course, my house seasoning. And then since it is crab, we're just gonna add a little bit of crab boil to that. And I just take the big things of crab boil and put it in my little jar here. Anyways, we're gonna let this finish cooking down and I'll show you what we got from there. All right, so these onions, peppers, celery, or our Trinity mix is about where I want it. I'm gonna start adding in the crab mix now. In case those of y'all want to know the ratios, that was a 10-ounce package of the Trinity. And this is a 1-pound package of flake style imitation crab meat. Now, we're not necessarily trying to cook the crab, we're just trying to warm it up, get it incorporated with these onions and peppers. Kind of hit it with your spatula, break it up a little bit. Oh, and I did turn my heat down to about a medium heat. So if you've ever cooked any of this flake style, as it warms up, it'll start breaking apart a little easier and flaking off. You just kind of got to let it get good and warm, let it go. So we're going to keep at this a few more minutes and then shut it off, and then I'll show you what we got from there. All right, there we go. You can see I didn't break it all up. As we keep preparing this, it'll slowly break its way up. But went ahead and shut the fire off. We're just going to get that off that hot burner and let's go on to the next step. All right, so I got me a bowl here. I'm not sure if this bowl is going to be big enough, but I got another one there if I need it. But we're going to start with a half a cup of mayonnaise, whatever kind of mayonnaise you like. I like the Duke's mayonnaise myself. And then Tabasco sauce. We're going to put a little bit of this in there, not too much, just enough to give it some flavor. And then I didn't get to bring any of my daddle pepper sauce with me, so I got some out of St. Augustine. This is Ab's. This is the St. Augustine style. We're going to add a little bit of that in there too. Mix that around real well. Get it all incorporated like so. Take our crab that we warmed up. And then you want to pitch this off in there while it's still warm. To me, it helps that mayonnaise and everything bind to that. Get on in there. We don't want to lose none of that. All right, then what you want to do is just kind of toss your crab around in there and get it coated in our mayonnaise and hot sauce mix till the whole thing's nice, consistently creamy. Coat it real well. You can see I got that crab meat broke up real well too. So we're gonna let this sit here and cool off. Then we'll put it in the fridge, and a little later we'll make us a crab roll with it. All right, so we got our crab mixture in the fridge. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this Papa John's garlic butter, just kind of rub it on a hot dog bun. Got my pan going here in the back. Just gonna put them down on there. So I put the garlic butter on this side. I'm just gonna push down on them a little bit to get a nice little crust on them. Flip them over and do the other side. All right, so we got our buns out of the pan. Just gonna open them dudes up. Put a little bit of our crab roll mixture in there. All right, folks, there you go. Imitation crab rolls. let's try one of these dudes out. All right, here we go, down the chute. Man, that turned out good. That you get that Tabasco, you get a little bit of that Cajun seasoning, just enough to give you a little kick in the back end. That imitation crab meat with all the peppers and onions and everything from that frozen mix we used turned out great. So I recommend you give it a try. This goes good on crackers, and taking and putting that garlic sauce, that Papa John's garlic sauce on them hot dog buns and warming it up, man, that is good. So I hope you get a chance to try it. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all you subscribers out there. We'll see you on the